like, subscribe, and hit that bell.
Yes, yaga ya. You know the vibes you rocking out with yours truly Showtime Sizzle. Shy News. This is the Source Experience. We're going to try to keep this under 10 minutes, but we're going to get right to it. We're going to get right to it. Shout out to everybody that is in town for the big fight at MSG Saturday night. The women, ladies first, making history. Um, Salute to Shakur Stevens and Oscar Valdez doing their thing on the West Coast in Vegas. But let's get to my thesis this morning. Jake Paul, you see what I said? The biggest YouTuber has come in and changed the game. I'm going to break that down to you, and I'm going to also show you how YouTube boxing channels they really don't help the game at all because a lot of their numbers are fraud, fake, paid for, and it shows. We'll get to that though. But first, let's just show what Jake Paul has done in relatively a short amount of time. When you see, this is what happens when you do real numbers, actual real numbers. He was a YouTube sensation. He transferred that over, started boxing, did like out the gate 1 million something pay-per-views. Put on a couple of shows, put a lot of people on. Then he jumped into the promoter game. Now you see he's making history. First time ever females headlining the Garden. Who are some of the most talked about boxers on YouTube every day? Shout out to Alex in the building, man. Good morning. Who are some of the most talked about boxers every day? If you go to Fanon, you go to Blue Blood Sports, Boxing Ego, these guys. Who are some of the most talked about boxers, right? Ellie, all these guys that do numbers. I'm talking about the real hitters, allegedly, in the YouTube, the hitters. Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford, right? But yeah, listen, this I'm putting y'all on the real game now. They talk about Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford all day, every day. All these big channels that allegedly do big numbers. But then the numbers don't transfer over. Earl Spence just did alleged 240. Terrence Crawford did 190. So is the YouTube boxing channels that talk about these guys every single day really helping them or hurting them? Things to make you go, See, this is the Source Experience. Like I said, I'm not going to stay on too long. I just want to just put this out there in the air, you know? Hopefully people enjoy this. Like, subscribe, share. Tell a friend and tell a friend you're rocking out with yours truly, Shy News. Well, like I just said, Jake Paul, the biggest YouTuber, right? Came on the scene. They clowned him. He was a circus act, this, that, and the third. But he was doing 1 million pay-per-views. He was putting on big shows. Transferred over to a promoter in a blick of an eye, a blickety blick, right? A blickety blick. Now he's making history Saturday night with 2 females headline the world's most famous arena. But yet, the 2 most talked about boxers on YouTube aren't doing big numbers. Why is that? Because YouTube boxing is not really YouTube boxing. It's a scam, it's a fraud, it's a way for guys to, line their pockets up, and it's showing. Because if these fighters, right, if these fighters, right, that are constantly talked about day in and day out by these guys that allegedly do these big, massive numbers, their numbers should be big, massive. Hopefully, y'all caught this sauce, man. Hopefully, y'all caught this sauce. I thank you. I appreciate that, Alex. Alex said you already know. Yeah. See, some of us pay attention. See, some of us aren't in the matrix. Some of us actually sit back, study, analyze, read, research. We just don't go off of what, like I like to call these guys agents. The agents come on and say, you got to do your own research. You got to have a mind of your own. You gotta sit back and say, no, wait, 1 and 1 is 2. That doesn't add up. 1 and 1 is not 5, it's 2. So when you see these guys, right, they do massive numbers. They talk about two particular fighters all day, every day, videos after videos, but yet they do 240 pay-per-views, right? 190 pay-per-views. Numbers are declining. Declining. Why is that? Because these channels are basically buying streams, buying views, you know? They're not as big as what you think they are, and it's showing. Because as much as you talk about these fighters every single day in and day out, video after video. And I touched on this a little bit yesterday. I said, man, you can't come on the YTC and it's thousands upon thousands daily videos of Earl Spence, Earl Spence, Earl Spence this, Earl Spence that. But yet, like I said, his numbers are declining. How is that possible when he's so much talked about on YouTube? Because the people on YouTube who are talking about him aren't really doing the numbers that they claim they are. Hopefully, y'all caught that sauce. Y'all enjoyed this sauce. Like I said, man, I'm keeping it under 10. You know, we got other things going on now. Like I said, this is the Source Experience. Shout out to the guys. Friday, Young Cassius is back up. Shout out to Marley Tucker. He's in action again today in the Nationals. You know, we get the victory today. Then we fight for the national title on Friday. We are bringing it back home. Salute to the whole team. You know the vibes. I'm gonna get Marley on here. Give Marley some shine. Shout out to Jamali Tucker. Keep marching, young warrior.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, subscribe, and hit that bell.